Back here at home, marking 10 years since the legislation of same-sex marriage and shining a light on the future of marriage equality, rather. It's a hot-button issue yet again with the new legal challenges. And just this week, Northern Kentucky University is going to be hosting a symposium on the history and also the impact of Obergefell versus Hodges. It was that local lawsuit that ended up having, as you know, widespread significance. And joining us here on the couch today, Dean Judy Darr. She is from NKU's Chase College of Law, and also Mr. Jack Harrison. He's a professor of law at NKU and also a sexual orientation law expert. Guys, thank you for being here and thank you for waiting.
Thank you.
Because of the news conference, they were delayed.
Thank you for having us. We're thrilled to be here.
So let's get right to it. What prompted Chase Law to organize this program?
We believe that we're uniquely positioned to offer this programming to the region and really to the nation. As you mentioned, the case originated in the area with the plaintiff and the defendant yielding from this region, and so many of the players, including the attorneys, are locally based. And also Professor Harrison is a nationally recognized expert in sexual orientation in the law. So Chase has a lot of resources and expertise to bring this programming to the university and to the region, and we're delighted to be able to do so.
Professor Harrison, I want to bring you in on the conversation.
Sure.
What do you all hope that people will take away from this symposium and discussion?
Yeah, I think we want people to think about we're 10 years in. A lot of things have happened. There's been a lot of transition. The political culture has kind of changed.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And so I think part of it is for people to really reflect on what those 10 years have meant and look to the future and think, okay, what's it going to look like going forward?
Right. Yeah, and to reflect on that a bit, you said it's been 10 years. What impact has marriage equality had in this region and in the country?
Yeah, certainly. So in the country, we've seen about 1 million couples get married since 2015. In the region, the 3-state region, there's about 60,000 couples who have married, many of whom have and are raising children. So it's had a very important sociologic impact in the region and beyond.
Now, we're not talking about it necessarily here locally, but do you think that same-sex marriage, that there could be a change maybe at the Supreme Court level? Is that a fear that either one of you have?
Well, we've talked about this and we have different viewpoints.
Yeah. I don't think it's an immediate fear. I mean, I think a lot of people are really concerned, and particularly, post Dobbs in terms of the overturning of Roe. So people know that these major decisions can be undone. But what we haven't seen is any state really begin to say, okay, we're going to start denying licenses to people, and that's going to have to be the first step. And until some state begins to move in that direction, I think we're looking at a longer term. Now, I do think there's a possibility of challenge, no question.
And Dean, you think
it's
maybe...
Just, if you have to look at the evolution of the Supreme Court over the last 10 years, we've had 4 changes in the seats, and the court has taken a more conservative bend. I think that generally we would agree with that. And as my colleague said, some of the language from a prior decision, the Dobbs decision that overturned Roe versus Wade, it relies on a precedent that reinterprets the Constitution in a way that could be unfriendly to the marriage equality decision. And so as court watchers, we're always concerned about the precedents and the durability of the precedents. And so that's why I always just take a more cautious approach.
Yeah. And you mentioned couples that have gotten married under this law and are now raising children. Does the law surrounding same-sex marriage have implications for other aspects of our personal lives?
It very well might. Again, when we look at the basket of personal liberties that we enjoy, they include things like marriage, the right to have and raise children, the right to make personal decisions about our bodies, medical decisions. So these types of personal decision makings have always been interpreted to rest in a certain part of the Constitution. And as the court changes, there's different perspectives on the vitality of those constitutional protections.
And quickly taking it one step further, we're talking about same-sex marriage, but what legal or maybe social challenges do you see for the LGBTQ community?
I think what we see right now is certainly in terms of transgender adults and children who are facing pretty hostile legislatures in terms of being denied access to care. And so I think that's really sort of the immediate challenge that we're seeing. Courts are kind of all over the place on those issues right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, we appreciate you spending time with us here today, and I think it could be a really interesting conversation. Once again, tickets are still available. That symposium, it is Obergefell versus Hodges. 10 years later, it is happening this coming Thursday from 9 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. It's over there at the NKU Student Union Ballroom. It is free for students, faculty, and staff. $50 for NKU alumni, and then $65 for the general public. As I mentioned, tickets are still available. And we also, by the way, have a link for you to register by just going to our website. Go to WLWT.com. Dean Dar, as well as Professor Harrison, thank you again for being here. And, it's just interesting to get both of your perspectives. And I think this could be a really interesting symposium if you're interested.